Yogita Kasture, Project Coordinator for the Vidarbha Engineering Defense Innovation Center, which is to be envisaged to come up at the Yantra India Limited premises. And we are very happy to invite you here for this session. Though I see a very less ladies, but ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you this afternoon. Let us start the session. If you allow me to present to you the wonderful dignitaries that we have today here and the dynamism of this dais, which is already started vibrating. I don't know how many of you can feel the vibration in my voice, but I can see that the entire mood is now ready to take a flight for this aerospace and defense conclave. Thank you so much. You may have realized that of late, Nagpur has become a very important city in the country. And we are very proud of that. But what makes Nagpur so strategically important these days? It's a beacon of potential, a nucleus of innovation, and as proposed, it is also to become an hub of aerospace and defense industries. Several conducive factors that make Nagpur an ideal destination for the future of aerospace and defense are the various DPSUs which are in the great vicinity in the central India, its strategic location, robust infrastructure, and probably now in future, the skilled workforce that we intend to supply to the upcoming industries, OEMs, FOEMs that we are envisaging to set up their manufacturing units soon. Behind Nagpur, transformation into a dynamic aerospace and defense hub lies the visionary efforts of none other than the Honorable Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Shri NitinGadkari, the driving force behind this ambitious endeavor, and equally and aptly supported by Shri Devendraji Fadnavis, our DCM Maharashtra. He has been personally taking a lot of interest in the developments of this aerospace and defense hub, which we intend to create two verticals basically, that is the skill development and entrepreneurship wing, and the other is the National Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which will not only help the MSMEs in this region to come, develop their product, ideate their product, develop the product, develop a prototype, then also the facilities for testing and certification, which have been a long pending challenge for this MSMEs here in Nagpur region. We are looking forward to establish that kind of a testing and validation center, and also a DPAC cell, which we have wonderful people here, experienced people here who are going to unfold the opportunities in the next sessions. It's not only an ambition, but it's also an action that the recent policy changes in the defense manufacturing, coupled up with renewed focus on indigenization, have paved the way for a revolution in aerospace and defense product. We really feel happy to know that, you know, around 43 industries, I was not aware before I came in contact with the Vidarbha Defense Industries Association, that 43 industries in the region of Vidarbha are catering to various small and big needs of the aerospace and defense ministry of defense. So it's, there's a lot of lack of awareness. I mean, I would say there's a very limited awareness in terms of when it comes to defense and aerospace. Specifically, I have been touch with a lot of youths who feel that defense and aerospace means either you are flying a jet, you are a fighter jet, or either you are at some place in Siachen or in some place at the Kargil war. Apart from that, they do not know there exists any careers in this sector. So our last session in this particular conclave is also going to focus on those skills which are required not only in the aerospace and defense sector, but those skill programs that are being conducted, which we are going to float across for the tertiary industries also, which are very close to the civic requirements, civic industry requirements. It's not only that the aerospace and defense industries require such kind of skilled manpower, but with some kind of technical enhancing and honing the skills, we would also be able to help these youths to get up some wonderful opportunities in the areas like automobile. Your cyber security is coming up, a very big demand for cyber security is coming up. And also in the general engineering, there is a huge demand for these kind of skilled workforce. Unfortunately, these remain under the cover. So this is an opportunity, this is a chance that we are wanting to take up. We have such wonderful experts here who have the masters in their fields. So I would like each one of you in the audience, especially for the audience here, the young audience there sitting across, please ask questions, please ask and take interest in knowing what is being discussed here. It's not just a general discussion, it's the future of your country. Thank you so much. With this, I would request Dushanji to please escort Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare to the dais. This tech-savvy personality needs no introduction. He's already been sharing his blessings to the Nagpurians, especially to us, and guiding us in forming this aerospace and defense hub, the creation and establishment of various verticals for that, so that the MSME in this industries, the future and the youths in this industry, in this region can find better opportunities. Sir, we welcome you. I would request Madhvi to please give a floral welcome to sir. Thank you, sir, for being here. And this gentleman whom I'm going to invite right now requires a standing ovation from you. He has very recently received the prestigious award from the Rashtrapati, the PVSM award. Sir, Vibhas Pandey, Air Marshal Vibhas Pandey, would you please take this rise, sir? Thank you so much, sir. People like them are a treasure. We need to, keep on inviting them here to our dais. Please, sir, please do the honors. Thank you for being here in spite of your busy schedule. The gentleman whom I'm going to invite now is a very simple, he is known for his simplicity and a very wonderful smile. I would request Shri Rajiv Puri sir, IOFS, Additional Ordnance Manager and CMD for Yantra India Limited. Sir, please take the dais. A floral welcome. I would request Bam sir to please do the honors. And adding some more vibration to this wonderful dais is C. Ramchandran, Director Finance, Armored Vehicle Nigam Limited. Madhvi, would you please do the honors of... Quick. Every moment we are wanting to hear them more and more, you know. The conceptualizer and the visionary behind this Advantage Vidarbha, Atmanirbhar Bharat and the Defense Conclave, Mr. NitinGadkari is soon going to join us. Is he? Wow. What a timing. Yeah. I would request Gondane sir to please do the honors of welcoming him. Welcome, sir. Welcome. We have known him as a political figure. We have known him as a son of Nagpur, but not many people know his philanthropic side. His philanthropic initiatives for the people of Nagpur, right from youth to the senior citizens of Nagpur, the local artisans to the sports person, outstand his politician and visionary aspect of development of Vidarbha. Sir, welcome to this session. Gondane sir, we would like to do the honors, please. I would request Dilip Gondale sir, Chairman of Vedic, to please welcome NitinGadkari sir, whom I recently got to know. Nitin ji is for national and Gadkari ji is for growth. So national growth, who carries this significance. Welcome sir. Acha. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So always innovative in his practices and implementation. We have the chief guest delivering his speech here first. Sir, request you to... Yes. Just the audience, thank you.
Respectable Khandare ji, all dignitaries on the dais, and all invitees and dear friends. First of all, as a member of parliament and one of the organizers in this event, I am welcoming all of you in this convention and particularly in the discussion seminar related with the defense manufacturing. I remember once upon a time, in a big way, our country was the importer of the maximum defense items. Today, in the Indian situation, already the sector is open, and one of the good things is the research in India, particularly in the defense organization, and at the same time private people, they are doing excellent research of world standard. Defense is very important for the country. It is one of the important things because the security of the country is the most important agenda for any government. But what my feeling is, where we are going to protect our country at the same time, we can make a lot of export in the defense sector. Today, with the innovative technology, we have got the capability with the young talented engineering manpower which is available in the country. by which we can make good research, and by good research we can make more exports. I always telling the people about the two important philosophies. One is knowledge is very important. The innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skill and successful practices, we name it as knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. And the other important philosophy is that is conversion of waste into wealth. Today, actually in Delhi we are making big road UR2, where already we use 25 lakh ton of municipal garbage in the road construction. In the Ahmedabad-Dholera road also we have used 25 lakh ton of municipal waste garbage in the road construction. And Nagpur is the most important example for the country that the toilet water, the sewage water of Nagpur, already one of the exhibitor is there. We are making the recycling of that water and giving to the power generation through government of Maharashtra in Koradi and Kaparkheda, where municipal corporation is getting 300 crore rupees royalty per year. So now lot of technology is available. We are making now. Our dream is to make green hydrogen for organic waste and municipal waste. So there is a huge potential. I am also working from 2004 in biofuels, and in our stall there is one technology which is registered now, that we are making ethanol from carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is a universal problem in the world, in the country also. So we have already have rectified spirit from carbon dioxide convert into ethanol, and we already supply to the oil companies. So this is going to resolve our problem related with the import of fossil fuel. We have the import of fossil fuel costing 16 lakh crores, and the green hydrogen is the future. Actually, in our industry, chemical industry, steel industry, we can use hydrogen. Even in the Air Force also, air, railway, everywhere we can use green hydrogen. But because of the majority of the people from Air Force, I will request all of you, 2 years before, we have successfully implemented using our fighter jet 100% bio-aviation fuel, sustainable the fuel which we are making from organic waste. Now I feel that it is the time. In Brazil, they have already used 100% bio-aviation fuel in their fighter jet. I have got a car on flex engine, and that car is the Toyota Innova car, where I am using 100% ethanol, and the car generates 60% of the power and 40% on ethanol. Petrol rate is 120 rupees per liter, and the ethanol rate is 60 rupees per liter. Now, as comparison with the petrol, the average is concerned, the cost of the petrol is coming 25 rupees per liter, and the car is very beautiful. I have got hydrogen car, and the name of the car is Mirai. That is also from Toyota. Mirai is a Japanese word. It means that future. I always trying to convince in defense that you should use alternative fuel. But fortunately, Khandare Sahab, every time Defense Ministry is sending me the file, they have got their all automobiles on Euro 4 standards, and they are telling me that this will be difficult to convert into Euro 6 emission norms. Mr. Harpal Singh was there at that time. He is my good friend. Many times I convinced him that defense should use alternative fuel, electric, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, electric and green hydrogen. We have successfully implemented using methanol 15% into diesel in Bangalore, in Karnataka State Road Transport, and the project is successfully implemented. The Ashok Leyland has already manufactured their trucks on 100% methanol. Methanol rate is 22 rupees per liter and diesel rate is 110 rupees per liter. It is cost effective, import substitute and pollution free. At the same time, I tried my level best, particularly in the defense factory in Nagpur, that there are a lot of machineries are available. And now this is the time. Actually, in many industries, 2 days before, we have a big convention related to the ropeway, cable car and funicular railway. And a manufacturer from France, Germany and European countries was present. And I request them that you can use the existing technical ability which is already in the defense factory, which you can use for making of your components. It is already there. So using of the capability of the defense factory for automobile industry, for aviation industry, for the transport industry can be possible. At the same time, we want to make our country as Atmanirbhar Bharat. And for that reason, we need to reduce our import and increase our export. And here now defense, I don't know exactly, but presently the defense export is more than 30,000 crore. And our budget for defense is 1,30,000 crore. Yesterday, I was with the CEO of Rafale. He was with me in the flight. And he was telling me that now the Rafale, that fighter jet, they are manufacturing here in Nagpur. The Airbus and Boeing, in the TAL industry, 1,200 parts they are making here. They want to develop ancillary industries. The Falcon, 11, 13-seater passenger jet, before 25 they are going to start. And at the same time he was telling me they have developed drones for 500 kg. My dream is to start drone taxis in the country. Even the people of Air Force, they are present here. The amphibious seaplane will be the revolutionary change. Actually, I use that aviation amphibious seaplane in Mumbai in the sea, 100% successful experiment. Already in Canada and USA they are using. After my experiment, Prime Minister insists me that he want to use that in Sardar Sarovar. His security take objection it because the single engine was there. And Nupen Mishra, the private secretary of the Prime Minister, tell me that you should convince to Prime Minister he should not use that plane. When I tell to Prime Minister, he asked me the question that when Nitinji you are talking about the law, I never understand. You are not supposed to talk about it. And he used that. And the amphibious seaplane has got the huge potential in the country. Now the Falcon people, Dassault, the Rafale manufacturer, now I suggest them you can make the plane of 40-seater because regional airlines, they can use that plane. In defense also, there is a lot of progress is going on, lot of new technologies are there. And we want to make Nagpur as a defense manufacturing hub. We have got a lot of ancillary industries available in Nagpur. And also the potential of Jawaharnagar Defense Factory, Wadi Defense Factory, Bhadravati Defense Factory, all the factories can be that already the infrastructure is there. And we can use that infrastructure for the development of futuristic technology and futuristic component which we need for development. Regarding Nagpur is the 0 mile. Logistic point of view, it's a good thing for the defense also because as far as Nagpur is concerned, it is well connected to all metro city from 1 hour 20 minutes. So we want to develop defense corridor here and with your ideas and vision and plan, we will think on it, we will support you. Mr. Khandaraji is here. Lot of places are available in Amravati districts. Already defense has acquired the land. Near between Tiusa and Namgaon also there is land is available. Land is not a problem. Defense has got lot of land for the defense factory. There also you can start it. And there is a huge potential for making of new innovative products, particularly in this region. We will fully support Government of Maharashtra and all MPs and MLAs from this area. We are very much committed for the progress and development. We will support you. Once again, I am giving my special thanks to all of you for giving response to this convention. With your guidance and vision, we will plan and we will support policies, whatever you need for that. And it will be a great thing for Vidarbha to create this type of development in this area. In your Bhadravati factory, the director of hydrocarbon was telling me, near to Bhadravati and Tadoba, because it is well connected to forest, there is a coal bed methane, CBM is available. And now with the present policy, we don't need environment and forest clearance for taking CBM. So also huge potential is there. So anywhere, any type of development which you are interested, our administration in the state and particularly the regional system also will support you. Once again, I am giving my special thanks to Mr. Khandari and other respectable dignitaries who are coming here. And with your inspiration, motivation and with your appropriate vision, we will support you and we will make the appropriate policy which is supporting for your development. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Good afternoon. We have a special occasion to celebrate. Our very own Air Marshal Vibhas Pandey, Commanding Officer, Maintenance Command, has just been recently, day before yesterday, been awarded the Param Vishish Seva Medal. On behalf of all citizens of our country, Nagpurians, Vidarbhites, I salute you, sir. Thank you so much for your service to the nation. I'll request NitinGadkari to kindly honor Air Marshal Pandey, sir. Okay. My apologies. Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare sir को भी परम विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल मिला है. I'll request Gadkari साहब to kindly honor him also. He is a son of the soil. विदर्भा के हैं हमारे खंडारे सर.
Wow. The hall seems to be vibrating right now, like is it? Yeah. So, not taking much time, I would request Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare, sir, to please deliver his keynote speech. Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind. Before I start my keynote address, I must pay due compliments and respect to the dignitaries on the stage, A. Marshal Pandey, Rajiv ji, Natarajan ji. It's a great honor to be sharing this stage with you. And the topic which has been given to me is regarding Atmanirbharta, a strategic imperative, I would say, not an implication. The arrangement, the organization, the vision to have this kind of an event, Advantage Vidarbha, actually culminates into Advantage India. When we look at the defense sector, we look at the entire nation, and it's a strategic imperative to have what our Honorable Prime Minister always says, Viksit Desh, Surakshit Desh. So the defense sector is essentially focused towards providing security to the nation, because when your economy grows, your adversaries grow. The kind of threats come from unexpected quarters. This is a new age. This is an age where the kinds of threat are not only restricted to kinetic warfare. The threats are from non-contact, non-kinetic warfare also. So it is most important for us to develop our capabilities. Should these capabilities be restricted only to the defense sector? No, not at all. It is to be a whole of nation understanding of what are the threats that come to our nation. There are numerous threats, whether they are to the economic sector, whether they are to the political sector, whether they are to your food security, agricultural security. And essentially, when you look at our economy, which is more agrarian, we always face threats in multiple domains. So the new age, we have to look at new capabilities which have to be developed, whether in cyber, whether in space, whether in the biological and chemical domain, whether it is in the technological superiority. So all these factors have to be worked out. I was extremely happy to hear the kind of speeches which happened in the main session, the inaugural session. And I want to draw your attention to the intent of the government. Please draw your attention to what the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister announced, that there will be a waterway which will be constructed from Maharashtra to Bay of Bengal. For you, most of you, it must be something absolutely new. May I inform you that this presentation was made to the Deputy CM 2 days back, and he approved it in the first go itself, because that is what is connectivity. Connectivity by, in digital form, communication connectivity, road, rail, air, and then the waterways which nobody had possibly even thought. We had been working on this idea for a very long time. There are 4 such ideas which we were working on, and to my surprise and admiration of the Maharashtra government, this went through in the first session itself. Why am I narrating this to you? I want to narrate to you that the intent of the government, the direction of the government is very clear. All people sitting in this hall and beyond this hall have to ensure that the momentum and tempo has to be increased. Why should it be increased? You know, we all grew up, the people on the stage, the people in the audience, we all grew up being told that future wars, firstly, people said that there will be no conventional war. It has been proven to be a myth. You look at Russia, Ukraine, you look at Hamas, Israel. The age for warfare will never end as long as man is present on this planet. So conventional wars will continue. People told us that wars will be short. Where is it short? It's going on for months, weeks, years. It's not short anymore, which means the national resilience has to be important. The national resilience and logistic stamina. You cannot give up midway because suddenly you find that war waging material has run out of stock. It cannot be held like that. Let me go to the next step. This is a golden era for the defense sector. When people fight, you get markets. You should be able to produce something which can be exported. To do exports, there are basically 3 to 4 essential requirements. We should be globally competitive in terms of quality, which means niche technology and futuristic technology should be available to us in the production line, not in the conceptual line. The second thing is our cost competitiveness. If we are not able to compete with them, don't expect any favors from any country based only on your strategic leanings. You have to be able to compete in the global market. There are many places where our neighboring Pakistan, which may be otherwise in a very bad state, but their products are NATO standard and the cost is quite competitive. So we have to learn from there, even if they are our long-term adversaries. The third issue is the timely production and providing these products as per the requirement of the user. Many a time in our field we realize whenever there is a order or indent placed, we are asked for extended timeline. That doesn't work in the global market. And the fourth one and the most important thing is post-supply, the service support that we have to give. And we've seen in the past at some places when we have provided military hardware and we've not been able to support them, and thereafter we've lost that market perpetually. Why is it important to have Atmanirbharta? You know, there are two things which we have to look at. One is indigenization, that would be closer to Atmanirbharta, which is self-reliance. We don't say that don't import anything, because there will be certain components which will always come from abroad till such time we get to a stage of manufacturing our own engines or own sensors, own semiconductor chips. Currently we don't have that capability, but simultaneously we have to develop that capability as well. How do we do that? We do that by civil-military fusion. Now this is not something which is only spoken of or termed in PowerPoint slides or study reports which are more theoretical in nature. When we talk of civil-military fusion, we are talking of academia, we are talking of the government efforts, we are talking of specific users, multiple ministries. Today on the stage you would have seen, with the effort of Honorable NitinGadkari ji, the Deputy Chief Minister was there on the stage, and the Minister of MSME, Cabinet Minister, was also present. When INS Vikrant was produced at the shipyard in Kochi, there were over 100 MSMEs who manufactured parts and components and subsystems for that huge aircraft carrier. Now that's a landmark achievement for the Indian industry to have manufactured an aircraft carrier. It took more time, but maybe the next aircraft carrier won't take that long, because it was a learning curve. And multiple ministries, when they came together, this happened. And subsequent to the launch of the INS Vikrant, the Minister of State for MSMEs and I, we flew to Kochi to honor these MSMEs, to encourage them to say that, look, you entered a niche area and you got to keep working so that maybe we'll be able to export more and more. The private sector and the public sector both are important to us. There is nothing which can be called as more important or less important. The research and development is extremely important to us. We want to reach a stage which cannot be incremental growth. We need to pole vault, we need to sprint, we need to leapfrog, but we need to reduce the technological differential between India and its adversaries. There are currently two identified adversaries that we talk of, China and Pakistan. So if there is a technological differential, don't expect doles or don't expect the others to stop. They will keep growing. You have to run, you have to catch, you have to overtake. Which means the work culture has to improve, which means the kind of working together whole of nation approach has to happen. We should be able to say that, look, I do this, I can do this better. If there is another vertical, I should be able to cooperate. At the helm of affairs, it is happening. At the ground level, it has to be made to happen. The users have to integrate more with the manufacturers. The manufacturers have to ask the users what is the quality that needs to be improved. Unless we start talking to each other, we will continue to grow in silos, and ultimately we both will not reach the convergence point. So people have to start talking. Many years back, before the corporatization of Ordnance Factory, I had come here, Rajiv ji knows about it, and I had interacted with a large number of these ordnance factories, and I asked them, at what stage does the user interface? And many of them told me that only the ordnance, the AOC, they interact, but they are not the ultimate users, they are just the provisioners. So it is the infantry, artillery, armored corps, and we have a person from Avadi. So it is the user and the manufacturer who have to come together. Without that, there cannot be any product improvement. We have futuristic plan. We want light tanks. And with that, it can only happen if the designing, development and production all happen here. You know the intent of the government when you saw the corporatization of the ordnance factories, converting them into 7 PSUs, DPSUs. You are seeing how the DRDO, how it can be improved, a study has been done. You are looking at how the services themselves are very clear. 5 positive lists identified as to these will be only serviced and taken from Indian manufacturers. You look at the kind of challenges. I compliment Navy, the TDAC, which has come up. They've created an organization which cuts across various levels of hierarchy. And TDAC, within a matter of 3 months, was able to give out 75 challenges to the private industry. You look at the newly formed Defense Space Agency, it was able to throw open 75 challenges in space sector to be manufactured by the indigenous public and private sector as well. There is a growing awareness that for every improvement we need money. You can start from big projects, manufacturing in India. You can start by conserving and optimizing a lowest, simplest possible solution. And we are continuously on the job looking for what can conserve our revenue. Because finally, that is what will bring improvement in us. When the Prime Minister says that we need to grow to a 5 trillion economy, what does that imply for the services? The services have also got to put their shoulder to the wheel and ensure that we get into this 5 trillion economy at the fastest. Because today, if you are from a 2.5 trillion economy, if you had about 2% or 2.5% of the GDP, with 5 trillion economy, in real terms it becomes about 5%, which is quite a bit. So we all have to ensure that the way we carry out trials, the way we carry out improvement, product improvements, it should be fast. In-service introduction of equipment has to be fast. Because for defense exports, we need to give a certificate that is in-service equipment so that people can buy from us. So that is another user responsibility. Now, when I want to speak about what NitinGadkari also spoke about the defense exports, we were given a target of $5 billion worth of defense exports. Now, when we calculated that many years back, say about 2019 or so, we calculated at the dollar rate then, it was about 36,000 crores. Today, with the change dollar rate, it becomes about 43,000 crores. In the recent event at Udhampur, the Raksha Mantri, Honorable Shri Rajnath Singh, announced that we had already touched a figure of 16,000 crores and we would within 2 months reach 20,000 crores. But we still have a lot to cover, which means we all in this room and beyond this room have to work hard, work fast. Our work culture has to improve. There are many suggestions which came up since morning, and including one which Gadkari ji said, that spare capacity of the ordnance factories or the DRDO needs to be galvanized, channelized so that other requirements of the nation can also be met. That is exactly what is whole of nation approach. When we look at our own empowerment to converge with the vision of the apex level, we also need to bring in changes in the human capital. We have to empower them with more qualifications. We have to empower them with capability to develop fast, to develop solutions. When we develop solutions, we have to now integrate and use them. There is a private sector which is very vibrant. There is a foreign policy which is very vibrant. You look at the kind of visits that we are having. The Ministry of Defense has started many new initiatives. We've given money to our defense attaches who are abroad, who can organize events, which the DPSUs have given out. Practically every month, we are having an event in some embassy or the other where we are encouraging those countries to buy from us. In the DEF Expo, in the Aero India show, we indulge with so many ministers who are coming from abroad. You look at the kind of MOUs, the kind of arrangements that we are having with many foreign countries to get even the critical technologies, whether they are in defense sector or aerospace sector. If we are going to get those technologies, doesn't mean that we rest on our laurels and say that it will always be important. Simultaneously, we have to start making those products in India. And like I expressed, whether it is related to the payloads for drones or payloads for space, miniaturization, the kind of sensors that we need, the engines, the metallurgy that we need, and if bulk of it is available here, and Vidarbha is a region where the cost of labor is quite affordable, I think in the cost competitiveness, we'll be able to make a lot of improvement. Many people say that there is a constant brain drain. I look at it differently. I look at whoever is our diaspora, they are very patriotic. We have a couple of very energetic NRIs. There's one sitting in the hall, an expert in robotics and AI. He met me about 5 years back. And since then, we've been thinking, what can he do? His strength in AI, his strength in robotics has brought him back here. He's making a solution for a robot to clean the gun. We all have a problem with manpower today. We have different kinds of stresses on the manpower. So more and more of robotics and more of AI so that the life of these equipment should be increased. So that is the time when we all should go beyond the level of only mutual suspicion and incorporate the capabilities of the diaspora as well. People are bringing in a lot of foreign exchange into India. We have to be able to absorb it and bring that foreign exchange to a level where it multiplies the earning. In the end, why is it a strategic imperative? Economically, we have to be very strong so that it becomes a deterrence to adversaries. In defense, we have to be extremely strong. Why should we be so strong? We should be strong so that there is conflict avoidance. Conflicts are costly. You need not unnecessarily get into conflicts by being a strong nation and dictate terms from a position of strength. That is the whole idea. And like I said initially, we have to be fast, whether it is in indigenization or innovation. Make full use of the projects that have been introduced, whether these are IDEX, whether it is TDF. Financing, the Maharashtra state government is also financing. They've kept aside money. People say that there are only 2 defense corridors. In the nation, there are 2 defense corridors, but practically every state is looking at defense clusters. I am seeing practically every day MPs, members of parliament, are coming and giving letters to say they want a defense park in their constituency or a defense cluster in their state, which means there is an urgency even from the civil ministry to say that a particular state wants to become a trillion economy. Imagine the speed at which economy is growing. And if we don't take advantage of that in the security sector, we will be lagging behind. So that is the appeal that I am going to make to all of you. Let us move in the right direction which has been given by the government. Let us move fast, let us move smartly, and let us devote ourselves to what is the Amrit Kal, that by 2047, when we look back, our next generation should be thankful to the people who are sitting in this hall or who are not sitting in the hall but contributing to the nation. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I would request Air Marshal Vivas Pandey, sir, to please share his insights this session.
Respected General Khandare, Sri Rajiv Puri, Sri Ramchandran ji, dignitaries of the dais. Majority of actually what I wanted to speak has already been spoken by General Khandare, and actually he stole the thunder from me. But notwithstanding, our great Arthashastri, Chanakya, once said that if you want your hinterlands to progress, you have to guard your rimlands. So if you want actual growth to happen within the राष्ट्र का निर्माण अगर आपको करना है तो आपकी राष्ट्र की जो सीमाएं हैं उनकी पूरी तरह से सुरक्षा करनी पड़ेगी. और you just don't have to protect your hinterland, you have to have your fighting capability, your military prowess, your samrik shamta to the extent that the enemy thinks twice before launching an offensive. And I personally feel that defense is one aspect in which, if you contribute, you not only ensure that your combat capability is enhanced, you deter your enemy, but at the same time, with the growth of industry within the country, you also ensure that the growth of the nation is taken onto the path which leads to its prosperity. So while working for the defense cause, I think both these aspects are taken care of. So I urge each one of you to take this opportunity and be a part of the growth of this particular nation and make it an even prouder nation. By adopting Atmanirbhar approach, and I'll come to this little later as to why we need to have this Atmanirbhar approach. But as General Khandare said, in 40 years of my service, and majority of which I have been associated with indigenization, I have never seen this kind of a radical change in the approach of a government. The intent of the government is very clear, and I think the first signal was given by the reform of DDP. When it came in with the multiple policies, make one, make two, make three, it was an open challenge to the industry that you can participate in whichever manner you want to participate, whether you want to have fully project fully undertaken by you, which with a commitment from services that they will go ahead and buy your equipment or your technology, and or you want to do it in partnership. So I think intent of the government is very, very clear, followed by the 5 indigenization list, starting with 108 lines of first list, followed by 3 list of 101 lines, and the recently released 5th positive indigenization list of 98 lines. So intent of government is very, very clear, and to be very frank, we in the services are feeling the pressure, because more and more restrictions are being imposed in terms of import of equipment. And I think a lot can be done as far as aviation is concerned, and aviation itself has 2 particular aspects. One which looks very, very glamorous, when I am sure anybody sitting in this hall would certainly raise his head and look at the aircraft when it flies overhead. It's a very difficult temptation to resist. But the housekeeping which has to go behind the scene is a very, very tedious activity. It is a set of organized activity which has to be done in a particular manner, and any lapse on those activities can actually lead to a great disaster or a catastrophe. But while a lot is happening as far as civil aviation is concerned in the form of MRO, I am sure everybody knows, maintenance, repair and overall, I think a similar approach can be adopted in terms of military MRO. And generally when we look at MRO, only the structure is seen, but it is not just the major aircraft structure which forms part of MRO. It is not only the structure which flies. In order to make that structure fly, there are a large number of aggregates starting from engine and other components which make sure that the aircraft is airborne and gets airborne and lands safely. A lot of work has to be done. So even the aggregates can be taken on for MRO application. And while we talk of this MRO, I think this is the right time when we also need to look towards universalization of our approach as to what is the commonality that can be established between civil field and the military aviation. Because in both aspects, the aerospace safety is the paramount, which cannot be compromised in any way. As General Khandare said, that all that we have been taught that every war is going to be short and swift, so you need to cater for only 15 days of intense warfare and things like that. But the 2 ongoing conflicts have actually proven that we need to rethink on our strategy. And if we are not self-reliant, if we are not Atmanirbhar, we would be found crying like Ukraine, which is now saying that enough production of weapons is not happening in the world. So if we want to be ready for a long haul, it is very, very necessary for us to have that capability within the country to ensure that we can continue to have uninterrupted supply of resources to make sure that our services continue to fight in a manner that they are supposed to be. A lot of opinions are being sounded with regard to the present conflict. And to tell you frankly, all services have been very, very adversely affected by these two ongoing conflicts. Russia forms the major part of our inventory across three services. Israeli footprint can be seen in majorly all avionics components that are being employed across the three services. So, what has to be done? I think if we really want to have a do we succumb to the particular challenge which has been thrown at us, or we take this opportunity as a challenge and make sure that we move in the right direction? The first such opportunity struck us with the disintegration of USSR, wherein Indian Air Force, which was majorly affected with the Russian inventory, embarked on the journey of indigenization. And today I am proud to say that we are the leader in indigenization. More than 70,000 lines of spares we have indigenized. And when I say 70,000 lines of spares, one must understand that one split pin can also ensure that the aircraft is grounded and is not allowed to take the flight which it is supposed to. So each and every component is very, very important. And I personally feel in this whole drive, MSMEs have a very important role to play. While you may say that the large conglomerates will actually bite the bullet, but finally they will all come back to you to develop you as a secondary and tertiary agencies through which they will be able to become an integrator finally of that product which is launched. So MSMEs have a very, very important role to play in this model, and I think they need to pick up the gauntlet. Another thing which I want to put across is not everything in aviation actually goes into the aircraft. There are a large number of ancillary equipment that also need to be serviced, that also need to be prepared, starting from ground equipment to aircraft servicing vehicles to airfields specialist vehicles. All these need the appropriate support from the industry to make sure that the Air Force can continue to fly in a manner that it is supposed to fly. When we talk of flying, I would also like to comment on what Gadkari ji made a mention in his speech regarding the biojet fuel. I am again proud to announce that this Republic Day, the Dornier formation which flew on the biojet fuel. So Air Force is equally aware of its commitment towards the green revolution, and we have already experimented in Air Force Station New Delhi to ply our vehicles with 20% mix of ethanol. It is finally the fuel agencies which refuse to supply us fuel with that blending because the market doesn't accept that kind of blending. So finally we had to drop that, but we have already done the experiment for about 6 months. Vehicles have vehicles have been driven successfully without any problem. And we are also the first service to procure the electrical vehicles for specifically for Delhi, because other cities don't have that kind of provision to fly those kind of vehicles. So at the end, I would just like to submit that we are with you. All this corporatization which has happened, the reform of DRDO which is happening also is a very, very clear intent of the government. Since I have been part of ordnance factories some time back, I am also aware that there is a lot of reluctance in terms of our certification agencies and regulatory agencies, but they cannot be done away with totally. But I think that whatever has been put up in report this time is, I think, is a step in the right direction, and is certainly going to help us in ensuring that certification agencies also participate in the process of indigenization rather than continue to act as a stumbling block. Thank you, gentlemen. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful insights. I would request Shri Rajiv Puri, sir, to please share his insights with us.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Yantra India Limited, I extend warm greetings to the distinguished guests at the dais, delegates, speakers, business heads, heads from the MSMEs, boys and girls. It's indeed a matter of privilege for me, Rajiv Puri, as CMD Yantra India Limited, to be with you and interact with you at this juncture, because it gives us an opportunity to tell you something about us, and it also gives us an opportunity to know more about you people, what you are aspiring. As General Khandare already told that there was as a part of the corporatization of the Ordnance Factory Board, it will be appropriate that before I go into the details of what is my vision or what is the vision of our company, let me tell you something about our company. We were born on the 1st of October 2021 as a new DPSU, as a part of this Ordnance Factory Board's corporatization. Out of the total 41 Ordnance Factories, 8 production units were brought under Yantra India Limited with the headquarters at Nagpur. That is a small part of it. Prior to our corporatization, Yantra India Limited production units were a loss-making company. To put it very mildly, it was just a loss of around 800 crore rupees per year, which we were incurring in the year 2021. But with the transformation which was expected out of the corporatization, post this restructuring, it was a very forward-looking restructuring where initially most of us were reluctant to participate. And there was a lot of apprehensions and anxieties. So we found that our workforce really rose to the occasion. My whole team of the Yantra India Limited, they rose to the occasion, and they transformed a loss-making company from 800 crores in a year. Last year, we ended up in the green zone with a profit of 52 crores, and in the current year, I am very sure we will be entering the 3-digit profit zone, and it will be multiple of 3 digits. So that much only I will leave it at here. So that is the kind of transformation which has happened in Yantra India Limited, which is unheard of in 27 months of our inception. We have been able to bring this kind of a seamless, painless, smooth changeover, where there was no upheavals, not even a single chaotic scene was there, and everything has gone out very smoothly. Thanks to the Government of India, the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister and our Honorable Raksha Mantri, we are right on track now. We are the producers of all military hardware, be it cartridges, cartridge cases, shells, fuses, you name a thing, each kind of a technology is available within the country. Yantra India Limited has got forging presses, extrusion presses, 32 axes, CNC stations, CMMs, electron beam welding. I can tell you, you name a particular technology, it is available with Yantra India Limited, and we are a single point solution provider to the armed forces. But we have not left, we began with the armed forces, but now our vision is to go towards utilizing the spare capacities available within the Yantra India Limited. As General Khandare said, that is very rightly he said that we must be in a position to use the installed capacities gainfully, because this is ultimately taxpayers' money. And I can tell you with some sense of satisfaction that India was depending upon railway axles for imports from China and many other countries. So post-corporatization of Ordnance Factory Board, we could bag the railways axles, we developed it, established it, started supplying, and we have now got a order of around 60,000 axles per year. So that is the kind of capacity we have created. And these capacities were earlier being used for, you can say, for producing barrels. Barrels in a year, RT tanks are there, guns are there. Maybe we require 100 numbers, 200 numbers, but huge capacities was there. So we have to utilize these capacities and transformed these capacities into real money. And when we competed with the private sector in this case, and we were surprisingly and pleasantly surprised that we were 40% lower than the L1. So this is the kind of potential which is available within the country, and we are proud to be a 100% indigenous unit, and there is We are the true torchbearer of the Atmanirbhar vision of the Government of India and Honorable Raksha Mantri and Honorable Pradhan Mantri ji. It will be in fitness of things, this kind of corporatization which has happened, I call it as forward-looking, disruptive transformation, but nevertheless it was required. But I would just like to add 2 or 3 things with the due permission from our chair, General Khandare. I kindly take it with the kind of a input, not to be taken as if I am trying to give any complaint or something like that. I am somehow very popular in my own department or own organization to call spade a spade. So, sir, please permit me. Sir, the kind of defense infrastructure which has happened in the country was basically a British legacy. So they wanted to keep manufacturing separate, inspection separate, design separate, and finance separate. Post-corporatization, what has happened is, it is good that finance has been given to the manufacturer. That is a good thing. The inspection also partly has been given to the manufacturer, but design has not become a part of the manufacturing setup. During this process of this reorganization of the DRDO, I would suggest that if something can be thought of, that the DRDO can be some kind of, some labs can be integrated with the defense PSUs or maybe even with the private industries also, no problems. So if that kind of thing is done, then there will be a real 4 pillars of any industries, that is a manufacturing, finance, inspection, design. They will come under one roof, single point accountability, single point responsibility will be there, sir. And DRDO can be redesigned on the lines of DAPRA, where a very core R&D is being done. Very limited scientists are there, and they are really bringing the change, and they use the industry. And the kind of vision which this government has got, where 25% of the funds have been kept reserved for the industry-led R&D, and 75% of the procurement is being done, for the capital procurement is being done from only Indian industry. So that is a lot of emphasis on the industry. So the process needs to be hastened. The transformation, the pace has to be hastened. We cannot wait for eternity, as General Khandare rightly said so. But for that purpose, we need to unshackle these structures. Unless internally when we are sitting here, we won't be able to change the structure, because internal energy is always chaotic. Only an external force, even by the Newton's first law also, it says that external force only can change the position of inertia. So these things need to be brought up together. Single point accountability and single point responsibility is required to be there. We have gone into the exports also. You see, in the last 27 months, we could bag exports orders of almost 700 crore rupees independently, because our product is only an intermediate product. We don't have the end product which has to be sold to the Government of India or to the armed forces. We provide our products directly to our sister production unit, the DPSU, Munition India Limited. They have also gone for a large number of exports. My colleague, Mr. Ravikant, CMD, Munition India Limited, he was also to join today, but for some reason he has not come. But on his behalf, I can inform you that Munition India Limited has bagged orders of around 5,000 crore rupees of export orders. That is unheard of. And they have also achieved a target of almost 1,000 crores exports this year itself. So this shows the kind of transformation which is happening. But the flip side is that we are still the single largest importers of the defense products. We have beaten even Saudi Arabia now. Saudi Arabia was earlier higher than us. 10% of the world's exports are coming to India. In a way, if I put it very simply, it means that the 1/10 of the world's defense industry is being fed by the taxpayer of India, where the jobs can come to India, where the product can be manufactured in India. But for these kind of structures which have been created due to the British legacy, because of the control and command structures which were there is a lot of reluctance between the agencies to interact. So, and agencies will never interact. They must be given a single point accountability and responsibility. If I want to buy a Maruti car, between me and the Maruti car manufacturer, there is nobody who comes in between. Nobody who comes in between. There is no DGK, no DGAQ, no anything else. It has to be straight. Yes, the structures can be there with the designer or the producer or the financer. But they have to work under one entity. if we really want to unravel and we want to become a third largest economy very fast, I feel defense can be the leader, because defense industry or the defense ministry is allocated almost 14% of the total budget in a year of 45 lakh crores. We are getting almost 7 lakh crore rupees are coming to the defense. So that is the kind of money which is there, and it can be a game changer. I would request that this house can pick up from this point, and then we move forward in such a way that we don't create capacities where the capacities are already available. What is happening in the post-corporation area is that everybody is trying to jump into this bandwagon. Everybody is trying to create more and more facilities. Small arms ammunition manufacturing, there is already capacity of 250 million in the country. But the armed forces are not buying beyond even 50 million. But the private sector is coming, Adani is coming, everybody is coming as if there is a lot of business here. So let us not create capacities into the private sector where the already capacities are available with the government sector. Let us encourage the channelizing of the funds into that direction where we are importing. This 10% exports of the world which are coming to India, where our money is going out. So those are the areas where our focus should come, where the private sector should chip in, because they have got systems, they have got flexibility, they have got structures where they can definitely go and get the business, and they can set up the manufacturing bases within the country. We are there to help them. We are there to complement their efforts, and our capacities are at their, I can say, they can always come forward. They can tell us what capacities are required to be utilized for their offset kind of obligations or any other kind of a business which they can bring. Need not be from the defense sector only, because defense sector, the load will always fluctuate. So our aim is 60% from the defense, 20% from the exports, and 20% from the civil sector. Like in Yantra India case, we have gone for railway axles, and now we are also going to the aerospace industry in a big way. We have already got the best facilities for aluminum extrusion in the country. In the biggest 6,500 ton press is available within Yantra India Limited. We are now investing another 600 crore rupees into this business. We'll be bringing the 10,000 ton press. With that, we'll be able to meet all aerospace requirements, whatever presently HL is importing. Many products we have already started supplying to HL, BDL, etc. post-corporation. This will grow in the coming years. We need the blessings of this house and blessings of all of you. Please be with us. Please visit us. Please have a look at the infrastructure which is available within the country. We are all very happy when we go out, but you come and have a look at the Ordnance Factory Ambajari, which is available right here. General Manager Ordnance Factory Ambajari is also available here. He'll be welcoming you. Their officers are also available here. Please come and witness us. Don't make opinions just by saying that we're a department. We were a department, we are a department, but we have transformed, and we understand the now nation's need for meeting the security requirements. So please come and visit us. Have confidence in us. Give us some feedback. Give us some guidelines. We are ready to work with you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Finance is a very integral and important aspect of any enterprise. So I would request Sri Ramchandran, sir, please share your views on the finance and other aspects of the aerospace and defense segment.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected General Vinod Khandare, respected Air Marshal Vibhash Pandey, respected Sri Rajiv Puri, CMD MIL, dignitaries on the dais, all VIPs, invitees, guests from industry as well as from the services, and the young people, including students. Very warm greetings from AVNL. Let me have the privilege of introducing this company. It's Armored Vehicles Nigam Limited, one of the brand new DPSUs formed or created by the Government of India after over 220 years of running it as a government department. This organization, which was called Ordnance Factory Board, has existed since 1801. And I have the privilege of serving in that unit which was in Calcutta, set up by the British in 1801, the very first ordnance factory in India. 224 years down the line, we are still there, and we are hoping and we are confident also that we will ever be there as long as this country needs us. In 2021, 1st October, we came into being as newly minted Defence Public Sector Undertaking, and my company, Armored Vehicles Nigam Limited, got 5 manufacturing units of the erstwhile OFB, and our core competence lies in manufacturing of armored fighting vehicles, plus the engineering support systems that are used here and also in some other platforms. We have 5 units. We have one in Maharashtra, that is in Ambarnath near Mumbai. We have a unit in Jabalpur, that is in Mahakoshal district and quite bordering Vidarbha. We have 2 units in Chennai, in Avadi. We have 1 unit in Medakin, just about 60 kilometers from Hyderabad. And together these 5 units produce what is the mainstay of Indian armed forces, especially the mechanized infantry and mechanized forces. As you know, General Khandare also gave an introduction that no matter what kind of development may take place, ultimately some of the wars are fought with your own proven, trusted, reliable, old-fashioned weaponry and equipment. And we are very proud to tell you that our company has manufactured nearly 99% of the armored fighting vehicles owned and operated by Indian military. To maintain such a large fleet, and the numbers are available in public domain, you can see we manufacture things like T-72 tank, T-90 tank, ICV, BMP-2, we manufacture all variants, we manufacture troop mobility vehicles where numbers exceed more than 1 lakh, which are with the Indian Armed Forces. We manufacture platforms like mine protected vehicle and modernized mine protected vehicle, which are very popular not only with the army but also with the central paramilitary forces. Many of our items are also being exported. So now I will tell you an idea about how things have changed in our country. There is a feeling of urgency and there is a feeling of hope in the entire country. As we have grown up in India where we were not even in the first 10 economically. Today we are at number 5. You pick up any random newspaper or magazine and they have started predicting that by 2028 we will become 4th largest, by 2030 we will become 3rd largest and all that. It may happen even earlier than that also. That kind of dynamism is happening because of the young India. People in India who are 35 years and younger are nearly 60% of the population, if I am right. And this is our biggest asset, and this is the asset which we need to capitalize. As a company, we can be not only a partner but also a promoter and eventually as an integrator of technologies. So what are the growth opportunities that are available with AVNL and also with our other DPSUs? So not only for the industry in other parts of the country but especially for Vidarbha, because you are so well connected to all major urban centers in the country. First force is indigenization. I remember as a very, very young officer in late 80s, we used to write in our annual performance appraisal report. In those days, it used to be called annual confidential report. We used to write that I have indigenized this item, that item, some small item here and there. Later, what happened was for many, many years, the indigenization, especially in defense, did not take place in a big way, and then again it has been emphasized in a very, very big way. Now as Indian economy grows, as General Sir has already pointed out, the number of our adversaries is also growing, and we have to be not only 1 or 2 but several steps ahead of them. How do we go there from our current state? We go there only by innovation, by developing modern and better systems. Fortunately, Indian industry has come of age. Almost every high-tech good is either manufactured in India or being made by various other companies and being supplied to foreign sources or made by multinationals. So in defense also the same thing, we are hopeful of doing that. I'll just give you an idea about some of the bullet points. They may be slightly disjointed, but let me see. First part is the confirmation of the load and the order position. We have started with an order book that was nearly equal to 8 years of our capacity. And I was discussing just 2-3 hours back with a friend of mine who is from shipping industry. He is informing that they have something like 20 years worth of work given to them. This is the level of vibrancy and confidence that Government of India expects us as DPSUs to spearhead the national growth, not only of the defense capability but overall in the economy, our contribution. So how do we go there in such a geometric fashion? So we can do that only with the help and support from the industry. It's not possible to do everything in-house. But together, if we join hands, we can do it. So there are many enablements which we have tried to include in our work system, and I am sure these are going to be of tremendous use to the industry, SSI, MSME and all others. One is that we are trying to introduce the TRETS platform system, where as soon as you deliver the goods, you can claim some payment from your banks. We are using the GEM mechanism very heavily in our procurement, and it's a very, very transparent, electronically driven procurement platform system. And many of the industry who are already registered there know that it's a very good system, robust system. Then we are also trying to have MOUs and understandings with the Defense Industrial Corridor, which are already in operation in 2 states, and also in Maharashtra now. There is a concept which is gaining momentum here. And as our economy grows from current level to the level where we will be number 3 and all that, you can imagine the amount of extra money Government of India will be able to spend on the national defense. And this money, thanks to Atmanirbharta, will not go out of the borders of this country. You all have a stake in that. You all will get a part of that. Only one point where we are being asked, and I believe it is perfectly right to ask those questions, is that whenever something is being reviewed in the ministry level, then they ask you, what are you doing about this, what are you doing about that? And we talk in the present continuous tense that yes sir, we are working on it, or we'll be doing that and all that. So they said, why? You should have done it yesterday. So that is the kind of urgency we get from the government. What you are planning to do today or planning to do tomorrow, you should have done it yesterday. So the areas where I think MSME will be of tremendous value addition to our efforts, that will be using the hybrid fuel for military platforms. So this will reduce our dependence on the foreign sources for hydrocarbon fuel. Our country produces enough number of molasses and sugarcane industry and all that. So getting a hybrid fuel in India is not a difficult thing at all. We also need to modernize our fleet of vehicles. Military fighting vehicles are pretty well designed, robust platform, and they can serve for long decades. But time to time, every 10 years, when technology undergoes an improvement, you need to upgrade those fleets. Our fleet of T-90 tanks, T-72 tanks, Vijayanta tanks, of course now that has been phased out, but ICV, BMP-2 and many other military platforms are very proven platforms, but they are somehow in urgent need for technology modernization, which has happened in last 20 years. What are those areas where we would like to introduce in our platforms? Use of artificial intelligence, use of modern chips as compared to the currently being used transistor technologies of 60s and 70s. We want our platforms to have drone launching capability. We want them to have anti-drone capability. And we want our indigenously designed systems to use indigenous chips so that not only during peace but also during war, our production and supplying capacity doesn't get hampered at all. So these are the areas where I invite the industry here to work with us. And I'm sure if we can expect a kind of a geometric growth, the same growth will be felt, experienced and enjoyed by all who want to become a part of our supply chain partners, or those who want to supply specified skills and technologies and talents to us. So once again, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. I invite all of you to visit our website, avnl.co.in. We have tried to make available plenty of information. And any other information, you can always contact us anytime. Once again, most welcome. Thank you so much.
They say it's wrong to enter back door, especially with so many people in uniform here. I wouldn't dare to. So, sorry for if it is a code of conduct or protocol, extremely sorry for that. Yeah, so thank you very much, sir, for enlightening this evening for us. It's really been wonderful sights. I have noted down certain things. Maybe we can come back to you on this again to remind and recall that these are the things and capabilities we can build across if given a chance. Yeah. And as we stand at the threshold of the new era, which the way forward is very clear, towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, also in aerospace and defense. It's all about harnessing our strengths, fostering innovation, and embracing indigenous capabilities to chart a course towards self-reliance. So let's explore new horizons, seize opportunities, and pave the way for a brighter, more prosperous future in aerospace and defense. With this, with a heavy heart, I have to let all of these dignitaries let go, and as request the backstage to please prepare for the next session, which is equally vibrant. Here the participations from the MSMEs is going to be a crucial insight which comes through, and coordinating and moderating with them is Major General Bam, who has a very strong experience, sound experience in DPAC, specifically in the defense procurement policy. So I'm sure all of you, all of the industry people are looking forward for the session. Sir, thank you so much for your valuable time and wonderful insights. Thank you so much. Backstage, please. Yeah.
The days of negativity in terms of the defense being a niche sector is extremely difficult to get into it are gone. Things have moved in a rapid manner. You heard in the first session, the eminent speakers spoke about where we were and where we are. At the international level, things have changed drastically. The geostrategic positions of what were once upon a time are not there. And I would once again quote what we all learned when we were in the service, that the wars are going to be intense and short. Bullshit. It's no more applicable. It could be Iraq, Iran. It could be the present conflicts of Ukraine and Russia, which has been happening for about 2 years since post-Winter Olympics of China or Israel and Hamas. These are the times which tell us to wake up and say that it's time that we need to be Atmanirbhar. And why Atmanirbhar? Because the accesses change dynamically in the entire international environment. The Chinese were looking at us and trying to say we are going to be good friends, until, as usual, they betrayed us and there were skirmishes and transgressions on the line of control. And it's been on for last 2 years plus. Russians and Chinese have joined hands and pledged that they are permanent friends because of the communist ideology which they have. Like the speakers earlier brought out, our equipment, our defense services were heavily tilted towards the availability of equipment which came from these countries, the erstwhile USSR or Russia. Ukraine too was one of the biggest manufacturers and suppliers of guns and equipment. Where does it leave to us today? We have seen in the Kargil operations when the ammunition for the Bofors was required, it was impossible to have it, and we had to purchase from South Africa at exorbitant rates. This wouldn't have been the case if we had looked at ourselves. Today, we are looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India. The Defense Acquisition Procedure, DAP 2020, is a book which gives you a guideline. It's a massive book, about 618 pages, and large number of iterations have happened to ensure that a comprehensive and a self-efficacy book is published for each one of us to take complete advantage. And like the Air Marshal brought out, the first list came out, which was called a negative list, where you cannot import these items, systems or subsystems. To give it a positive connotation, it's become a positive list. And the fifth list was given out on 4th of October 2023. The total items in that particular list is about 509, with 98 being part of the fifth list. Ladies and gentlemen, it's for us that these today, as on this moment, we have 509 items, subsystems and systems where we can exploit, look at our own self for improvement economically, as well as look at the nation to have their aspects and the growth of a nation into a strong nation. Today, we are fourth largest armed forces in the world. It matters a lot. But in case there's a time when it is completely indigenized, it will be time for us to rejoice, and our dream of 2047, when we need to be a completely developed country, it's time that people are looking at us to supply arms and ammunition. The Americans, the others, thrive on the defense exports, possibly not to be quoted, make trouble in the world, let wars start, sell your equipment. We don't have that kind of ethos, but sell your equipment will be the buzzword. Today, I have a very eminent personalities, large number of them, waiting to share their experiences from the different fields which they are. They are domain experts in their own right. I will request each one of them to contribute to the betterment of our nation. Gentlemen, unfortunately for us, we have 45 minutes. I would request you to be brief and short. And if required, I will ask you to curtail your talk because we need to cover a lot of ground today. I would request each one of you to introduce yourself and what is the specialty which you are doing so that our audience is well benefited. Over to you, sir. We'll start from my left.
Good afternoon to all of you. Gentlemen, I represent Hindustan Shipyard Limited from Visakhapatnam. I'm Surya Narayana. I'm the head of design here. Basically, we have three verticals. Shipyard was, I'll give you a very brief introduction and tell you what we are doing actually. We are the first independent shipyard that is established in the private sector before India got its independence in 1941, and then we were nationalized in 1961. We were in Ministry of Surface Transport catering to commercial vessels for a very long time, and a decade back we came under the purview of the Ministry of Defense as a DPSU shipbuilding production unit. Now we build warships, we also build commercial ships, but since then after the shipbuilding has come into a slump, we were primarily catering to the Indian Navy and partly to Coast Guard. So we have three verticals basically. One is the shipbuilding, new shipbuilding. The second one is ship repairs. And the third one is submarine retrofit and repair. So I am representing the shipyard and I come from the shipbuilding unit. So when we were building auxiliary support ships for the Navy most of the time, since our induction into the Ministry of Defense sector, ministry. So we have a lot of challenges, like we have limited vendors for big systems, for platform management systems, integrated bridge systems. Many of our subcomponents were actually imported outside. We do have one or two integrators in the country, but we need more competition. So the radars, for example, the software, hardware, like for example, now we have got a recent order of fleet support ships which we which were intended to be used for the aircraft carrier task force. So we are in the process of constructing them, and for which the primary purpose is the replenishment at sea, the RAS gear. We don't have anyone who will be able to do that. We are forced to import the RAS gear. So all the major systems, the big systems like engines, we are forced to import them. So this is where the MSMEs can come up. Actually, I understand that MSMEs by themselves cannot be major integrators, but a small step has to be taken. Like now MSMEs are actually contributing for the smaller subsystems. But as time goes by, some sort of an ecosystem has to develop in the country where we will be able to cater to the bigger systems. Another area in which we are being thrust on and we wanted to become a leader is the electric propulsion. Like we wanted to start with electric tugs, and slowly, probably the Navy is looking at electric propelled vehicles into the future. So that is one area where we need a lot of expertise. The other area is, as some of my predecessors have indicated, that one is the drones. Now increasingly RFPs are coming with requirement of drones and AI infusion into the platform management system. So these are all these things will require a lot of hardware, sensors and software to integrate all these sensors. This is where actually MSMEs can contribute immensely to have the systems done in India. Maybe not one, but actually a couple of MSMEs can come together and have it done. So there is a lot of potential and scope for improvement and do research on this and produce a final product. Maybe with the help of IITs or good academic institutes or on our own. So scope exists. That's what I wish to state, that MSMEs can please come to Hindustan Shipyard. Please visit us. Our website is hslvizag.in, where we will explain you in detail what are the other minor products also for which we require support. So whatever players today who are there, they are not very good in quality. We want to improve the quality. Today I want to personally state that the quality of our naval ship platforms can vastly improve. At one side we are constricted from importing. The other side we are choosing from Indian vendors, but some of those vendors which are in the long stay, which are the mainstay today, they are not giving us quality products. So we need more competition in that, more quality in that, so that our platforms can become much better. And this is for our own nation, which is surrounded by sea on three sides actually. And with the current developments, we need a more stronger Navy. This is what all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Dignitaries on dais. I am Ravindranath, Additional General Manager from Bharat Electronics. Before I prefer to take a Q&A session, and I request Mr. Ravikant to, he has got a small presentation which will run for a very short time. Then I will take our Q&A, please.
A warm good afternoon to one and all. Respected dignitaries present to our dais, in front of me, guest speakers, MSMEs, business heads. I present the greetings on behalf of Bharat Electronics. So here in my presentation, I will be covering a brief about the BEL, a brief about the BEL Pune, and I will be more towards the application point of view, application oriented, some of the business opportunities, what we are exploring, and some of the points what I want to share, just I want to show here. Next. So BEL is the Ministry of Defense organization, as you all know. It's a 56th in 100 companies and 66th in the arm producing. We have 9 manufacturing units and 2 R&D facilities. Next. So strategically, we have located in different area of India. In the south, we are in Machilipatnam, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad unit. All the units are dealing with the different types of product portfolios. Started in 1954, and still we are there with more than 350 product lines. In northern part, we have the unit in Kotdwara, Panchkula, Ghaziabad. In western part, Navi Mumbai and Pune. Each unit is having a different type of products. Suppose in Ghaziabad, we deals with a radar system, network-centric system. Navi Mumbai, we deals with the shelters, CBRN systems. Pune, we have 5 business verticals: electronic fuses, ammunition, CBRN systems, energy storage products, security systems, and laser systems. In Panchkula, tacticals. So we covers different types of all the 350 products line we covers in our 9 business segments, 9 to 10 business segments. So there are an ample amount of opportunities. In our declaration, we says around 50% we is the indigenous contents, and close to 50% we took the import in overall. Next. We have recently ventured into the different diversification area also. We have targeted diversifications. So arms, ammunition, seekers, missile, unmanned systems. These are the area we are diversifying, and I'm very proud to inform you also that we have acquired a 200-acre land in Nagpur, in near Butibori, where we are about to start our manufacturing facilities. Works is started. In next 2 years of time, we'll be having a good setup in for the arms and ammunition, mainly for the explosive handlings. Yeah. So in Bell, a core strength is R&D. 47% of our engineers are in R&D, and 80% of our sales and revenue comes from the indigenous development. Why I want just giving the glimpse about that, because today maybe addressing some of the MSMEs business head here, so they can also plan their growth plan in future, how the core strength, where exactly you need to put your core strength, where need to focus about, and what are the business opportunities where you need to tap. So in future, you will also multiply with the products, and over and all, there will be a growth. Next. So this is the growth of turnover wise, if we can say close to 10 to 12% year on year basis. Last year we have recorded 17,000 plus 100 crore turnovers. Next. When Pune as a genesis, we started in 1979, and we started with image converter tubes, and later, next. We have started one by one different type of business verticals, X-ray tubes. Then 81 we have started magnesium cell manufacturing there. Then we have started doing the laser optics. Then laser range finders, thermal imagers. 1997. Next. Then we have also ventured into the integration of the tanks. So as AVNL representation is here, we take the tanks from the AVNL, and we do thus the electronics part integration there. Many subcomponents also we supplies, that gun control unit, night vision devices. In 2015, we have ventured into the arms and ammunition segment, and we have absorbed the TOT for electronic fuses and ammunitions. And recently, we have received the order from Indian Army for supplying of 50 lakhs fuses over the period of 10 years of worth 4,522 crores. And this is the one of first Make in India concept of Government of India, which Bharat Electronics has signed, and especially Bharat Bell Pune has signed the contract. And these is the facilities which we are planning to develop in Nagpur, where we will be supplying, we will be manufacturing close to 500 crores company here, and it will be giving a good amount of business opportunities for all the associated industries which are located nearby in the nearby vicinities. In recent past, we have been with lots of new projects, be it if I will cut out short because so many other dignitaries are here. So hazardous material handler vehicle, some Rafale ammunitions we have ventured in, gun laying system for the accuracy, and diversification is the area and the core R&D is the area really you believe the moment you put pouring energy in that segment, you will be multiplying your figures and your capability and capacity is going to be increased enormously. Next. So promoting indigenization, this is some of the words what I want to say. Government of India is under Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. There is a major thrust. Some of this MOD has a programs of Make 1 and Make 2 programs. There is a good number of Make 1 and Make 2 programs where they have targeted from the import substitution point of view, and small industries can always collaborate with bigger defense PSUs, or they themselves can initiate any of the development program. And the beauty of this is AON is first getting accorded, and once you prove your technology, surely you will be getting a request for proposal, and if you beat them and you will be L1, then there is a sure and short business for you. There is, previous slide please. There's a positive indigenization list. Many of our dignitaries says 500 plus products, but I say it's a 1000 plus products because many ways technology has been mentioned, not the products. So it covers, I have calculated more than 1200 products it has been covering. So there is an ample amount of opportunity directly. If you just see the product, put your energy, put your R&D team, target with a target time, and with the quality, you are going to get a good amount of business from this. And over and above, every DPSUs also issuing their indigenization list in their website. You interact with them, you will find good amount of, based upon your approach or based upon your niche area, you will be getting some products in your product portfolio from where you can get. These are the products what immediately you can start doing. The role of MSMEs, if I'm not so expert, but I have just tried. So interact with the organization for taking inputs, frequently interact, target some products based on your area of expertise and take projects, define project parameters like time, cost, quality, because cost and quality always matter. Don't cost your product, design to cost. Some cost is there, with that cost you need to design. And do the comparison, so at par, are you there or not? Application and business potential will be there. And major thrust should be there in R&D for your developing your capacity and capability building. And always attend, there is a vendor meet of every DPSUs there where they will be just showing you their products which need to be indigenized, which need the next 5 years potential. So I have 5 slides which I have shown last time recently vendor meet. Next please. So these are the potential what I have shown them during the last 4 to 5 years, what we are looking from the BEL Pune point of view. It's close to around 700 crores. Next please. These are in the energy storage products. Is again, these of the batteries and all we are doing. So some cells and all you can manufacture. Next please. Next please. And this is what I was talking about. We are there in arms and ammunitions also now. And 5 lakhs electronic fuses every year we need to manufacture and deliver for next 10 years. And we are also bidded for 30 and 40 mm ammunitions. And also exploring the bigger ammunitions for recently launched or inducted in services gun. So in conclusion, just I want to say, Atmanirbhar Bharat Advantage Vidarbha Aerospace and Defense Conclave is a way towards sustainable growth of the nation and take India into the new heights and emerge as a superpower. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravikantji. I'll just add only 1 or 2 more sentences. We have For MSMEs, we have got a lot of what you call encouragement. We have a state-of-the-art labs, and for startup companies, we have got some features where it will be at best price, or it may be sometimes discounted price. So please make use of that. And we have got something called a collaborative R&D approach, where you can join with us and be part of our development, and we can share the IP or we can work out the modalities. So that is how we have two areas where we can get into work with. And apart from that, MSME, always we keep adding every year a database. It's very simple. Go to our website. Registration process is very simple, and we'll start working together, and we will be always helping hand. We can come to your place and train you if required. So rest I discuss during our QA session. Thank you very much.
Hello. I am Karthik Kale. I am Vice President Sales and Business Development for JSR Dynamics. This company was formed by A. Marshall Dev in 2018 after retirement. So we are in the business of weapon manufacturing, and we have a facility, design studio in Nagpur, and facility of manufacturing at Butibori. So I would like to speak on behalf of MSMEs. So all the points which I was thinking of, the dignitaries which spoke before, they spoke on that. I'm very, very happy from being from a business community that the government is taking steps probably higher than our imagination at a faster rate. There are a couple of points which I would like to just mention. Number one would be end-to-end hand-holding, where like everybody was speaking, or sir also spoke from Bell, that there are a lot of projects which they would want to work together with private players. How that communication can be smoother. That is number one. Second would be